this live I'm going to discuss is how men can act narcissistic at their jobs, y'all. So listen to this. This is narcissism at the jobs, y'all, with a lot of profanity. And I'm not downgrading it, but I'm going to explain to you why it ain't the worst thing, okay?
Bro, I'm on it ever since I was 9. How many years is that? Nigga, I'm 25. I'm 20, let's say 25. I'm 29 now. So what is that? Yeah, I don't know. Count it up.
They just was cussing a lot, y'all. Now it stopped. Ain't that something?
19? Not 9? 9 years?
This is young guys at work, y'all.
I've been driving some coffee. What? Okay, guys. I really wish I told you to get off that motherfucker. I really wish that nigga said,
now you hear the cussing again, y'all. The motherfucker and all of that.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm up there.
Yeah. You and your coworkers, huh?
No. I'm with my brother. Yeah, with those dogs and that thing. There's no foxes tonight. That nigga's bugs everywhere in the butter. How the fuck Air Force butters? I'm lucky. I ain't gonna lie, let's not even get out. Okay. I'm already texting her. I'm going out. Alright, hold on. My ticket. That's what I'm saying. You was gonna have me say this. No, the break in. No. I mean, shit, that's not hard and high. You thought about that.
This how guys be talking, y'all, when people ain't around. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brother was listening. She already text you where you at? She really don't want you to talk.
They always talking about ladies too, y'all, while they cussing.
That's what he was asking for. Y'all, you're gonna be a complaining shit tonight. Y'all niggas sit there, if you talking about going out, come to the fucking pool. No, I don't want to. Don't out there.
A lot of use of the N-word, y'all.
The women out there, we just come out to the people who sit there. Don't want no. He said he don't want no. The bitches that you fucking with don't look better than the two bitches I live with. But I can't. Yeah. Ain't scared. No, that's a girl, bro. That bitch better mind her business. Stop it. I ain't saying like that.
Okay, this is gonna relate more into what I'm gonna be talking about. When someone is acting narcissistic, y'all, versus actual empaths, and I'm gonna tell you why both are bad. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you some of the differences and the benefits of an empath versus a narcissist. Because there are differences, y'all, and I'll explain what they are. Hold on just 1 second, okay, y'all? Okay, I'm gonna call you right back so I can finish off. I gotta do some of my recording stuff, so I'll call you back within an hour.
I'm sorry, these fools just talking. I'm trying to fix your big come
Okay. Okay, so I'll call you right back.
You want me to call you so I get in the car? I'm putting in the car in like 5 minutes.
Oh, you can, yeah. But I just want to finish off because I was in the middle of doing my video recording. So I'll call you once I get off this. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, y'all. So yeah, so thank you so much. So hold on. Okay. Because 2 things happened while I was playing that. I had a little drop of coffee, y'all. And I will be discussing, I'm just going to mention this. I'll be doing a video. I'm not going to do it here. My last video that I uploaded for my live on August 21st, please go watch that because I'm going to be doing a follow-up about more of addictions and coffee and stuff like that. But this is not what this video is about. So this video, And this is something that a lot of channels won't be expressing to y'all about why it's not a good thing to be an empath, right? So, what's happened is there's been a stereotype developed that just because someone's a narcissist, they're just up to no good. Okay. And many of them are. Many of them are. And I would definitely say if someone is highly narcissistic, they their motives will definitely be not always in your best interest. However, this is the thing with a narcissist. Okay, so I'll let you hear that conversation. Oh, let me see. Let me check my comments, y'all. Yeah, I don't want to get behind on these. So hi, Jeffrey Willett. Fruit Snacks, hello to you. Thank you so much for y'all comments. And then the bro says, call me good boy and I'll sub. Okay, you are a good boy. Yes, you are. I don't mind calling you a good boy. I'm not going to call you no bad boy, but I'll call you a good boy. So please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Watch my other lives. They're pretty interesting. And then Janine Marla, are you the little girl, Janine Marlowe? I remember you. Come on now. You said your parents were asleep. I'm not going to forget you now because you told me that you were a child. So it may be some things discussed in here that just so you know, I use a little profanity, Janine, but some of the things in here you need to know because I wish I would have knew these things when I was a teenager, okay? So a teenager can tap in here. I'll try to be careful what I say. And then if I say something that I feel like you should not be hearing at all, I will ask that you remove yourself from the live. But I remember you, Janine, because you told me that you were a teenager and that your parents were asleep. Okay, so I'm not going to forget that now. I wrote it down, too, that you're a kid because I don't want to be violating people's children. And, you know, but you need to learn. You're a teenage girl. Come on in and learn. Okay, so basically, HG Tutor teaches the boss subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I like to make people happy on my lives. I like to help make people happy. Just long as I'm respected. I'll know when I'm being disrespected. So people have greatly disrespected me in here and I still have not blocked them because they disrespected me, but they stopped doing it. Okay. I even had a man ask me if I pee out of my butt. He still ain't blocked, but he knew to stop leaving those messages because I give them a warning before I block them. Because actually those people want to tune into your channel. They just got a little jealousy in them, y'all, because they didn't work on their channels. Believe it or not, even though I'm a small YouTuber and I don't get 1 million subscribers, someone with 12 subscribers that's only uploaded 4 videos and got 50 views, they will hate on me, y'all. And I was at that point before too. I mean, at some point I had 12 subscribers and 50 views. I did, but you got to keep uploading, y'all. If you keep uploading, then you'll get the best result. Okay, so that's all I want to say. So thank you so much for tuning into the live. So basically, HG Tutor teaches this. There's 4 different personality types. There's a normal, and I believe this to my soul, y'all. This is the best teaching that HG Tutor teaches, okay? It's a normal personality. A normal personality is low in empathy and narcissism. They ain't really too much bothering you. They're not highly vindictive. They're just nonchalant, normal, okay? Then you got the empath. They're high on empathy and low on narcissism. Unless you piss them off, okay? Then if an empath gets mad with you, their narcissism rises. However, empathy always overrides their traits of narcissism. Like for me, I was tested as an empath. It's not a good thing to be, because it causes a lot of life problems, but I'm glad to be one. But because my empathy's there, it's a lot of people I ain't killed. Okay, because I'm an empath. I don't want to really do them like that unless they really, really push me and my life is in danger. Then you got the other personality type called a narcissist. An HG Tutor teaches that they have no emotional empathy, but they do have cognitive empathy that comes from the brain. So they can use logic to figure out empathy. And then, of course, you got the narcissistic person. They are a narcissistic person. They are not a narcissist. They are not an empath. So they do have some emotional empathy, but it's very low. They don't have a lot of it. They just have it for certain people. So that's a narcissistic person. So with this being said, I'm going to go over my ex that I was with was a narcissist. So I'm just going to, in this instance, I'm going to say, yes, he is a narcissist. My ex, my last boyfriend. Okay. So I'm just gonna, in this particular live, just call him that so you'll get an understanding. So he's a narcissist, he's narcissistic. But in this case, he has enough patterns and history to be called a narcissist. He's a prior player, prior pimp, prior abuser. So with that long-term history, we can just declare him a narcissist. He did not pimp me out. He was not laying his hands on me. He wasn't doing that stuff to me, but he has a long history. But I also didn't put myself in the position to be beat up. I wasn't hanging out at his house all the time. I knew when to say bye. See you later, sir. So, but he has longevity when it comes to the three things I named. So, okay, now we're going to go over empaths. Okay, so I described what an empath was. So sometimes when you're becoming an aware empath, this is a term I came up with. Okay, you want to become an aware empath. You don't want to just stay an empath. That's not safe for you. And the reason you want to become an aware empath is you want to get your emotional thinking down to the lowest ability that it can be. And the way you do that, HG Tutor taught, is you do it through going no contact with narcissists. Okay, so once I did that, I lowered my emotional thinking. Okay, and if you're interacting with other empaths and their emotional thinking is not down, they can be just as dangerous to you as some narcissists. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the benefits, which would be a pro, and then I'm going to give you some of the cons. Okay, so I'll begin with my ex-narcissist. I gave you his background. My ex-narcissist, he called me a square. Okay. So what does this mean for a narcissist? He meaning I ain't into no street shit. Now, is he saying I'm a coward? No, not a coward. I'm not a punk. Is he saying I can't fight? No, he ain't saying none of that. He just saying I'm a square. Now, because he is a narcissist and is a mature narcissist, this is a man I should not be with. Okay. Just me declaring he is a narcissist means I should not be with this man. So this is not a situation where I'm saying I should enter back into this relationship. This is not a situation where I'm saying I should go back to him. I'm actually in no contact with this narcissist. However, he has a department that he's put me in. Okay, and what happens is that's the benefit of being around some narcissists if they're more mature, because they do put you in a department. Okay, so my ex-narcissist, he has me in the department of a square. So these are things that he know about me. He know that I don't bring drugs and alcohol in my home. He acknowledges that I am against addiction. Even though I have an addictive personality, I am against addiction. I don't suggest addiction. I don't turn people out into addiction. These are the things I don't do. So because the ex-narcissist, he declares I am a square, it's certain things that he does not do. And this is why. He's using more logic, and some narcissists don't want to completely be out of your life. So this narcissist, he would, if he saw me at the store, he would want me to say hello. Okay. So because he puts me in the department of a square, he's not going to suggest to me that, for one, he's able to analyze me a little better. And believe it or not, when someone is not an aware empath, they don't properly analyze people the way that they should, if that makes sense. So sometimes a narcissist or a narcissistic person, if they have correct intuition, they can analyze you a little better. So my ex-narcissist, he puts me in the square category. So what he does, he pretends in some sense. Remember, he does not have emotional empathy. So he may not be doing everything from his soul, okay? But he's able to pretend and act a certain way to get along with me for certain periods of time. So check this out. This was the benefit of that. Once I stopped having sexual relations with him, he was able to maintain some sort of a friendship with me that was non-sexual, okay? It was I would say 99.9% percent of him being able to have sex with me. 99.9% of the time, I am not sleeping with this man. So I'll use that DNA quota. 99.9% of the time, I am not sleeping with this man. Okay. So basically, close to 100%. So basically, I don't sleep with this man. There's this very, very low chance that I would do it. And he knew that as well, because he puts me in the category of a square. But at some point, he recognized through my experience with him that I'm becoming an aware empath. Okay, an aware empath, we now make logical decisions. Okay, we're not just making decisions based on emotion, because that's how you get messed up. Okay, let me say hi to my commenters. Japhet Ortiz, hello. Thank you, Japhet Ortiz. Hello to you. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in. So yes, so I hope this is making sense. So my examples really help y'all. So if you do have to go do something and you tune out of the live, just come back to it and watch, because my examples, I would say, are pretty good, y'all. And one reason they're good is they make sense, because I break things down in an example, and I'm using real examples, right? I've been with the narcissist. So anyway, my ex-narcissist, he puts me in the category of a square. So because he's using more logic, there's certain protectors that's gonna be there, but he's not gonna be doing it from an emotional empathy standpoint. He's gonna be doing it from a logical standpoint. So he knows my stance on drugs. And I led by example. This man was never allowed to bring alcohol in my home. He knows I'm highly against addiction, drugs and alcohol, pill popping, and all this stuff. He watched and observed how I was raising my sons, because he came in my life when my sons were younger. And he set a decent example. So I would say that this is a man, when he came around the house, yeah, he set an example. He doesn't have a choice. Remember, I'm the square. He puts me in the category of a square. So that's the benefit of a narcissist. However, I have to point out once again, I should not be with this man, because he is a narcissist. He does have a prior history of abuse, and I don't want to be in the house with this man. Because just because he puts me in the category of a square, and just because he's not trying to turn me out into things, does not mean he's a good man. Okay? It didn't escalate because he's not in my home. I'm not living in his home. Now, this particular narcissist, before he married his first wife, she was a teenager. He tried to get her to prostitute. Okay? But the thing with this type of narcissist, his ex-wife, his first wife, is what you consider a square. So he knows not to ask squares shit like that no more, because he got his outcome and result. And what he got is a ended marriage. His first wife, even though she was a teenager, she told him, no, I'm not gonna prostitute for you. I'm not one of your hoes. So he comes into the knowledge of knowing what not to do. Okay. Thank you, Japheth. Am I pronouncing your name right? Yeah, so thank you. So somebody's confirming because they have some experience. Remember, Advanced Insight Channel. Thank you, Japheth. Now, am I pronouncing the last name right? Ortiz? Ortiz? Am I pronouncing the last name right as well? Okay, thank you. Because I know some Ortizes. So I try to really learn language and things like that. So, okay, so that's this narcissist. So this narcissist, to have 1% of a relationship with me, even to get me to say, okay, sound the O double. Okay. Let me see. How would I Utiz? Okay. Am I saying that right? Utiz? Is that right? Japheth is teaching me how to pronounce Ortiz the proper way, y'all. Okay, so is it Otiz? No, I want to pronounce this right. I hate mispronouncing somebody's name. So is it Otez? Otez? Okay. So Otez. But what about the R? The R is like silent. So it's Otez. Is that how you pronounce it? Confirm if that's right. Okay. Okay, thank you, Japheth. So the main thing is I'm pronouncing the first name right. Okay, so it's Japheth Otez. Is that correct for the whole name? Confirm if that's okay. Yes? Okay, thank you. Okay. So, and what I do, I take a note and I spell it the way it should be pronounced. Okay, so thank you, Japheth Otez. Okay, so anyway, so this is the benefit of being considered a square. So because he's logically dissected in his brain what category that he's put me in, he's not going to do certain things that an empath may slip and do. So he's not going to suggest that I do a cocktail job. He's not going to suggest I take a job that serves liquor, okay? Because he's already learned me and he's already put me in a compartment, right? Now, sometimes with other empaths, the failure in it is this. I'm what you consider an aware empath now. So if the other empath is not aware, they're just saying stuff kind of off some of their emotions, and they have not put me in a category. Now, other empaths, they put narcissists in a category. They say, okay, that's a narcissist. He don't feel nothing about me, or she don't feel nothing about me. But empaths don't put other empaths in a category. So if I'm interacting with another empath, he could be a male, right? And this is a real example that I had. Another empath can be a male, but he has not compartmentalized me enough. Okay. The narcissist has, because the narcissist has already tried to prompt and get me into things for their own benefit. Like when my ex narcissist was trying to get me to watch pornography. Now he wants me to get into that so he can keep a sexual bond with me. But because he considers me a square, the ex narcissist, he doesn't want to get me into drugs and alcohol because he recognized at some point that I was an aware empath. And he knows I'm going to cuss his ass out. Okay. Now, another empath that has not compartmentalized me, I'm going to be least likely to cuss them out. Okay. But this is what can happen with another empath. If I see that they're another empath and they're trying to groom me or suggest that I do something that's evil or wicked or something that is not in the square category, I may just stop talking to the empath because I'm like kind of disappointed in the empath. So the failure with empathy is there's too much emotional thinking and they do not put you in a correct compartment. They put you in the sucker compartment. So if the empath is a money-driven person, they may suggest that you do a job. Like one empath gentleman, he suggested that I be a cocktail waitress because he said that some of them make $50 an hour. Now, I'm not being compartmentalized enough into the say no to drugs category. And actually, I was just telling this empathic person that, just explaining the law and just being careful with buying liquor and alcohol for people. Okay. And how that kind of puts us in sin. I don't buy liquor and alcohol for people. I just don't do that. Okay. So I'm not going to be purchasing somebody's liquor and alcohol. And so then the same empath came back and suggested this job. Empaths do not always have your best interests at heart. They just don't. They don't, because if there's a selfish need that they have, their narcissism and their narcissistic traits are being heightened. Okay. And then sometimes they're not even thinking. Sometimes the empath may have forgotten that cocktail waitresses serve a lot of stuff, food, liquor, regular soda and stuff like that. So maybe they're not thinking. So these are the benefits of also another example. This is the second example. I mentioned this in my other videos. Okay. And as an aware empath, thank you so much. Japheth, thank you so much. Japheth Otez, thank you so much. So the thing is, Japheth, are you a lady or a man? I'm thinking, Japheth, just confirm your gender. Okay, so I'll wait on that. So another example that I will give is the benefits of narcissists. Okay, you're a man, and I thought Japheth was a man's name. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, but logically, Japheth sounds like a man's name. So thanks for confirming that. So another example would be this, and I talked about this in other videos with my little sister that lives out of state that accused me of using her name to get a student loan. She ultimately found out that it ended up being one of her roommates. Okay. So she did find out some years later who did that to her. Now, when I asked her some years later, why did she think it was me? She said, because it's the closest people to you. And there's only 2 people that had her social security number. Okay. And so I didn't think much of it because I'm not really thinking logically at this point. I'm thinking more emotionally. So I'm actually believing what she's saying. in my mind, it's like, oh, only 2 people have her social security number. And one of them would be me because my mother and grandmother gave it to me. Okay. They gave it to me in case anything were to happen to her. I could have her social security number and stuff like that. So that's why I had it. It was not to bring any harm or ill will to her or anything. So she accused me of this. So, and I'm in no contact with my sister right now. I just want to point that out. She did other things. That was just one strike she did against me. Since then, she's done a couple of other things, and I just don't need that in my life. Okay. I'm not gonna be around. I'm gonna be in no contact next time she think I'm doing something to her. So next time the devil tell her that it's me, it's Irene doing something to you, the next time the devil whisper that to her, I'm not gonna be around her. So this is the thing. Okay, so I went to my ex-narcissist that I still had some phone contact with. Only phone contact. So he happened to call me one day and I ran this by him. Now he's a narcissist, right? So he says to me, one of the things about some narcissists, if they consider you a square, they kind of admire the trait, they admire the empathy, and they know you kind of like a good person, right? So they're not always very fond of people saying crazy shit about you, right? It's kind of like this weird kind of protection. So when I told him what my sister did, he's using logic, not emotion. So the first thing he says is this. This is how he talk. Well, it's more than 2 people that got her social security number. I said, wow, what do you mean? She's saying it's only 2 people. He said, no. It's more than 2 people that got her social security number. I said, Japheth, you talking about it's sad what my little sister did? What I'm telling you she did, accusing me of that. Is that what you're saying? It's sad? Or are you talking about alcohol from people you don't know? Okay, so I'll wait on you to determine what says. So the ex-narcissist, because remember, I'm not sexually active. I'm not involved with this man. I'm no longer in a relationship. There's just minimal contact at this point. And that contact is through the phone. Okay, so he says, no, it's more than 2 people that got your social security number. And I said, like who? Because my little sister says only 2, me and some other person. I don't even remember who the other person is. So he said, well, every job she's ever applied for, every school she ever been to, every prison and jail she ever been to. Because he remembered, that I had told him my sister's, her triumph she went through, how she was, had some struggles with the law and made it through it. So this is the areas he's naming. He's naming every job, school, prison, every residence she's ever lived at, even if it's a recovery house. Any therapist. He mentioned any insurance agencies. He said since the day she was born, people have access to her social security number. The Social Security office. This is how he talks, y'all. Just crazy. So he definitely wins that if this was gonna be a debate, he's definitely winning this, because it's very true what he's saying, that more than 2 people have her social security number. But what he's definitely knowing as a narcissist, because I'm in the square compartment, so he knows I ain't got it. He knows without a shadow of a doubt that I have not used my little sister's name and got no student loan. Okay. And you got to remember, sometimes when people live out of state, this narcissist is around me more. Sometimes people that's around you more, they may know you better. They're coming in the house. They're seeing how you're raising your kids. They're around more. My little sister is not around me, y'all. It doesn't give her the right to believe that I would use her name and get a student loan. It doesn't give her a right to believe that. It's very irrational and crazy for her to believe it. However, the narcissist that's been more tapped into my life and my environment, he may actually know me and know my genuine honesty better. Okay. So he's not just going off stuff that he's making up in his head. Okay. Thank you, Jafet Otez, for subscribing. I appreciate that. The bros want to be called a good boy. The bros, you a good boy too. I don't have no problem. I support men over here, y'all. I do. So this ain't a channel where I hate men. It's definitely not true. So basically, this is what the narcissist says. Okay. So this is why some of your best logical advice can come from narcissists. Okay. Some therapists will be narcissists. They will be narcissistic. If they're using logic and reasoning and cognitive empathy, which is something that I will be using more as an aware empath, then you're welcome to the bros. That's what I'm going to be using more. Okay. So, and I'll get back to the comments in just a second. Now, an empath that knows what my little sister did, if they just say they know me and my sister, they may antagonize me more. See, because this is the thing. The narcissist has put me in a compartment. So once I tell him how my sister lied on me and accused me, ain't no telling how many people she told that bullshit to. Okay, yeah, I think it's my big sister out of town. Stuff like that. So the narcissist is not going to encourage me to be further victimized by my sister. And the reason he's not going to do it is because he has a sibling that's in no contact with him that has decided not to put up with him. So the narcissist has already learned his lesson about violating the rights of siblings. And he has came to the conclusion that what do you mean, Japheth, means you that weird? Who are you talking to? So the narcissist has came to the conclusion that yes, people do go no contact with their siblings, if that makes sense. Japheth said, can I tell you something? Oh, you talking about the bros? Oh no, the bros, no, the bros is not weird. You had to kind of be, I'm not sure, Japheth, if you was in here in the beginning of the live, but yeah, Japheth, people play around in here. And they try to bring humor to the platform. That's all. So there was a comment early on. Let me go back in my comments, and so I can explain to you what happened. So the bros originally said, call me good boy and I'll subscribe, right? So that's what happened. So then he mentioned it again. And what's wrong with being called a good boy, right? It's not, you got to not take stuff so personal. And he's not coming in here as an abuser. He's just coming in here bringing humor. That's all. So I understand, my intuition tells me it's humor, and I'm not offended by what he's saying. You know what? Let me tell you what he's doing too. We got to stop doing something for nothing, right? So we're taught that, narcissists, there's always an exchange. That narcissists will not do nothing for you unless you do something for them. Okay. So if a narcissist is going to give you sex, you got to buy them a car. I'll use an extreme example. No, you're fine, Jafet. I just wanted to explain to you what was going on. You did nothing wrong as well. That's why we communicating. So to the bros, don't get offended by what Jafet said, because that's just another man kind of defending me. Okay. And people will do that in the comments. You know, when you're a YouTuber and y'all get to know my personality, I become likable. Yeah, you're fine, Jafet. I just want to explain to you that what he doing. Now, if he came out of pocket and, you know, started calling me the bitch word or something, then you'll know. And we both can check him, but that's not what he's doing right now. He's just, I called him good boy and he subscribed. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I want subscribers, right? He's not asking me to call him a something weird, you know. So, and I want him to be a good boy. That's fine. And you know what? On some of my lives, I was talking about how we need to start referring to ourselves as genders. As our genders, I believe when he said good boy, that was special to me. And this is why on one of my lives, I said we're girls and boys. We ain't male and females. I ain't really no female like that. I'm a girl. The bros is a good boy. He might have watched my other live. See, so you got to remember, people that come in here, Jafef, they've watched my other lives and they've learned some information that they bring into the new lives. He might have watched that lives. And now he's like, shit, I'm a boy. I'm not no fucking male. She ain't no female. I'm a boy. He's taking on his boy identity because I took on my girl identity. You got to watch all my lives. I go through how the original words that originally came out were actually the best words. Girl and boy, they sound totally different, right? So yeah, I love being a good boy. I like how he a good boy. It's cool to me because I'm a good girl. You peeping that? You never lose that identity. As a man, you should never take your boy identity away because you're going to be miserable. As a lady, I should never take my girl identity away. Never. That's what keep you happy, y'all. Yeah, he a good boy. And Jafef, you a good boy too. You see what I'm saying? Because y'all both here. So, okay, so with this student loan situation, the narcissist gave me some insight on this. Now, an empath may antagonize me more and say something like they love the person, forgive them. See, other empaths, they keep you ensnared. That's another word I learned from HG Tudor. Ensnarement means they keep you in the web because you're listening to other empaths, so you're not going no contact. Anyone that's accusing me of using their name on a student loan, she had no apology, y'all. See, my little sister, she's soulless towards me, right? Very soulless girl. So there's no, you know what? My bad. Damn, I was tripping. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, I actually seen the photo of the person. It was actually a white bitch that did that to me. They caught it on camera, dog. She could talk to me like that, but see, she's soulless. This is a soulless individual. This is an individual that's hated me since we was kids, y'all. Hated me since we was kids because she's not happy with the upbringing, right? And she feels I beat her up and stuff. This is true. I did beat her up. I'm the big sister, y'all. I'm 5 years older. I already apologized. Yeah, I do videos of other things. You got to go through all my videos and my lives and shorts. I've done videos on all kind of things. Of course I do, Jafet. Yeah, all my videos are on different subject matters. I'm not always talking about narcissists. And so this is not just a narcissist channel. I'll discuss it all, right? So this was just an example of what I wanted to give you because I want to teach you on my small channel what the rest of the world ain't teaching you. YouTube and all these, not YouTube per se, YouTubers, content creators and influencers, They just telling you how fucked up narcissists are. They're not telling you how fucked up empaths are. They're not telling you that enough. Because for one, a lot of empaths are self-righteous and they don't want to tell you how fucked up they are. So as I come into being what you call an aware empath, I'm going to tell you the danger of other empaths. Okay? One danger, we kill. Empaths kill. I got a hammer over here, y'all. Motherfucker come through my door. What I'm gonna do? A narcissist might give them more of a chance, y'all, than I may. Because I'm be like, oh, fuck this. I'm on my lie. This motherfucker might take my tablet. I might go into complete narcissism mode. Hit this motherfucker in the head. Now, I may, because I'm an empath, I may know when to stop beating them. But it just depends. So, okay, you said, so Japheth said, so empaths start with an E too, E-M-P-A-T-H. They're like what? What do you mean, do they like sins? Empaths, a lot of times, they're more likely to cover up their sins too. Oh yeah, they like bad things. Especially, sometimes you can't even tell an empath that what the fuck they doing is bad. Empaths are very hard-headed, y'all. I was one of them hard-headed people. Empaths are like this. It's all about their surroundings. So they absorb energy and they're very emotional. They're gonna absorb their environment. That's why I stay out of stuff. Okay. Now, I could go up to where the prostitutes hang out, say hi to them a couple of times. But as an empath, if I go up there too much, I'm going to be selling pussy too. See, empaths, we have an addictive personality. So empaths, we can't do shit like that. Now, the narcissist is more likely to become the pimp and not sell his pussy or dick out there where the prostitutes do that. So see, the narcissist might be in a more safer position as a pimp because he's not using up his body and getting injured and beat on. But me as an empath, I already know how I am. I can't go up there and hang out with them too much. Why am I there? That's not my environment, right? So can I have a couple of prostitutes as homegirls? Yes, I could do that. But there's going to be limitations even to that because we live two different lifestyles. So yes, Japheth, yes, empaths are hypocrites as well. Yes, they are. Especially if they in a damn church. That's the true covert narcissist. When they say somebody's a covert narcissist, it's them damn empaths. Some of them ain't narcissists. H.G. Tudor, he doesn't even use that word. But what I would say, and he's a whole psychopath and a narcissist. He's from British. He's from Britain, y'all. He's a British man. So a covert narcissist, that's that empath. That's that enabler. That's that reactive abuser. Because they only gonna take so many ass whoopings. And that's the danger of them is they haven't came into awareness. So that empath don't know how fucked up they are because they're not in awareness. I'm in awareness, so I know how fucked up I am. That's why I control myself. You know what I've been doing the last couple of years, y'all? I would say 2 to 4 years. I've been controlling myself when people threaten me. You know, showing good nature, not threatening them back. I was threatened when I went to a funeral several years ago. It was just a little passive aggressive threat. And I was threatened. I didn't say nothing. But what would have happened if a fight would have popped off at the funeral? What would I have done? Hey, it's on. Because I'm an empath. But see, my awareness tells me not to threaten back now because I'm becoming more intelligent, y'all. So on the YouTube, empaths and a lot of empaths that's painting themselves like they so much better than a narcissist. They're saying that they're better, they don't have no problems. Them are other narcissists. A real empath gonna tell you how fucked up they are and what not to do and how to better your life. They're gonna tell you the truth. Them people that just got all bad stuff to say about narcissists, them not really empaths you listening to. I know a couple of them on YouTube. If a person won't even tell you the bad about an empath, they not a true empath. Okay, so like Japheth said, hypocrites. And that's what I try to not to do here. The thing is with here, what I encourage and what I teach, I actually am following it. And if I do a mix up or something and I slip or something, I'll come on my channel and talk about it and explain how I can fix it. So I had another empath encourage me to be a cocktail waitress because this empath has not compartmentalized me, right? He hasn't said, yeah, he knows I'm a non-drug addict. Okay, he knows I'm someone that was never on alcohol or drugs or addicted to any of that stuff. He knows that, but he has not compartmentalized me in the way that the narcissist does. So there still can be some grooming process there. And remember, just like narcissists do stuff unconsciously, so do empaths, especially if they are not an aware empath. And an aware empath is a term I came up with, y'all. I had never heard this term before in my life. I came up with it. And the way I came up with it, I said, they always call narcissists, that have their own channels that are diagnosed narcissists, they always call them aware. They call themselves an aware narcissist. And so I'm like, I should be an aware empath since I know what I am, right? So why can't, and they're better, they improve, they get better. So it's a couple of YouTubers that they do very well. They're diagnosed. And I've had a mental health eval, y'all. I've been tested by a psychologist and a psychiatrist. My disorders are all anxiety based. Basically, these disorders that I have would not really exist if I had not had the narcissist in my life, even from childhood. I'm not diagnosed as a sociopath, a narcissist. I have no cluster B disorders. So when I come to you and say I'm not a narcissist, it's on paper that I'm not one. I am not a narcissist. I don't have borderline personality disorder. I was not diagnosed with bipolar. I was not diagnosed as a narcissist or psychopath. I have no cluster B disorders. All my disorders are anxiety based. I am diagnosed with anxiety and stress disorder. Okay, my disorders are anxiety based. And as I stay clear of narcissists, those disorders are minimized. But I cannot just stay away from narcissists. I gotta stay away from some other empaths too, because they gonna keep me ensnared. See, the other empath gonna teach me to love my sister. Because see, other empaths, because they are not aware empaths, they don't have foresight, the ability to see the future. And the empath don't really care about what I'm going through, y'all. Because the empath, my little sister ain't calling the other empath, accusing them of using her student loan stuff. See, they don't have to deal with that shit. So that's another thing about another empath, that in these type of situations, they can give bad advice. But that narcissist clearly explained to me, he woke me up, y'all. He said, no, it's more than 2 people that got her social security number. And he went straight on my defense. Because what he's saying, Because see, he not gonna go against what he know. He put me in the category of a square. So I'm a square to him. So he's like, what the fuck she mean? You used her social security number. You a motherfucking square. The narcissist talking to me like this bitch don't know you a square? Fuck wrong with this bitch? And pointed out that she had been in prison. He looking like that's the motherfucker that's running the scams, not you. You ain't never been to prison, sis. So that's how the narcissist looking at it. I never used nothing that wasn't in my name. Any financial mix-ups and discrepancies I had, I've utilized money in the past that I shouldn't have. But guess what? It was dropped in my bank account that said Irene. That's true embezzlement, y'all. You know, like if you got money for your grandmother or your dad or something, or your mom or grandmother, and the money is put in your account, it's in your name, but it's for someone else, that's mishandling somebody's money. Okay, now I used to be a bad budgeter, y'all. My budgeting skills, but you know what? What you would consider like embezzlement type stuff, that money that's put in my account, I'm gonna be taking that money, spending it on who I'm supposed to spend it on. But see, you got all these technicalities, y'all, where like what I was bad at was, say, trust fund money, not getting permission from the trustees and stuff to use the money. That's what happens with embezzlement stuff is you're supposed to get permission to use it, but it's dropped in my account. It say Irene. So I spent it, y'all. You know, so then you got to pay monies back and you got to give people their money back that was mishandled. But I'm going to spend it on you. I just missed the fact that I'm supposed to turn in the paperwork to spend it on you. See, it's called obeying rules, y'all. Like, okay, 10,000 go in an account. I'm going to spend it on you. But where I messed up at is not getting the proper permission to use it. But I spent the money on you. Okay, I didn't misuse your name or none of that. I'm not that kind of fraudster. But I would say in the past I had those kind of issues. So now with this student loan situation, another empath is gonna encourage me to love. I'm sick of that shit too. That shit, I'm so tired of that. It's so irrational, telling me to love and care about my abuser, and there's not enough talk of fleeing yourself. See, other empaths, if they're not an aware empath, they're not freeing you from these people. There's no freedom. So other empaths, they don't obey rules enough. Even in some of my current situations, y'all, when I go get advice, my best advice, especially on boundaries of my home and my things that are in my best interest of my situations and my family, guess who sometimes give me the best advice, y'all, on these boundaries? It's someone that is another aware empath, because I do know them. They're another aware empath, so they're using a lot of logic. They have been in these situations themselves, or another narcissist. Someone that's narcissistic, they have a lot of narcissism, but a very low amount of empathy. They might be a little bit jealous, y'all. Some narcissistic people are really, really jealous hearted. So because of their high level of envy and jealousy towards you, they may steer you down the wrong road. Okay, but I find that some of the best advice comes from other aware empaths or a whole narcissist, especially a narcissist that you're pretty much in no contact of. You don't think a prior pimp can keep me out of some shit if he's actually telling me the truth of a future male or any situation I may be involved in? Yes, because he's been down that road. He know a user and an abuser. And you know what? Because the narcissist puts you in a proper category as a square, he's able to use logic, or she's able to use logic and give you the advice that you need to hear, not what you want to hear. This is why I love HG Tutor. He gives you the advice you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's the difference. Empaths, unaware empaths, they defend abusers too much. And it's over time making me sick to my fucking stomach, right? Unaware empaths, they don't believe in enough happiness. They think we are put here to tolerate that shit from people, right? They don't believe that you can actually be happy. Okay, narcissists, on the other hand, know they can't be happy. My ex narcissist, he told me, he said he going to hell. He told me. You know what another person with empathy said? He don't know where he going. I said, yes, he do. He say he going to hell because he knows some shit he done did that I don't know about. Any motherfucker that say they going to hell, I'ma validate them. So me as an aware empath, the reason we got along a little bit is because I'm able to validate what he's saying. I told him one time, hey, why don't you make an effort to go to heaven? You can do that. I encouraged him one time. But after he insisted that he going to hell, I said, okay, have a great life. I'll pray for you. I left that shit the fuck alone. I'm not going to invalidate this man. But another person that's showing that sick empathy, she said, he don't know where he going, Irene. He don't have no clue. Only the Lord know if he going to hell or not. I said, a man say he's going to fucking hell. And that's where I think he going. He actually, this narcissist, even though he's capable of giving good advice, he didn't treat me very well. I'm not married to this man. I don't want to be with this man. He's not a good partner. He's not treating you to the best of his ability because he's not an empath. He's a narcissist. So in his case, if that's where he feel like he going to hell, that's where he going. And so what I know some aware empaths, y'all. I'm surrounded around them. Okay. And their advice is more logical because they've gotten over their emotional thinking. Remember, it's the emotional thinking that keeps an empathic person sick. And they are sick. That's why they fuck with narcissists in the first place. If an empath wasn't fucking sick and irrational, even if you want to consider an empath not so sick as a narcissist, they're definitely irrational. It's because they keep messing around with narcissists. A narcissist can't abuse people if other empaths don't give them a chance. An empath will let another narcissist or let a narcissist abuse them to the day they die. And like HG Tutor said in one video about moving on from a narcissist, he coached and did therapy with one of his clients, and her narcissist died. And the client was crying over her husband because her husband, that was a whole narcissist, died. And she just was crying. And so HG Tutor asked her, why are you crying? And the empath said, oh, HG Tutor, you wouldn't understand because you're a psychopath and a narcissist. You know what HG Tutor told her? Oh, I do understand. But you should be glad he's dead. Why would you be crying over this abuser? Who's more sicker, her or HG Tutor? She's sicker than HG Tutor. She's sicker. And as an aware empath, I agree with him. I'm not no freaking psychopath. I'm not no narcissist, but which one is making more sense? And believe me, He know more of what that abuser did to her than we know. So see, he keeps the coaching and therapy that he's done with her confidential. So when he asks her why she's crying, he already know that the narcissist was tying her to the bed, beating her in the head 2 and 3 fucking days a week. He already knows the horrific things that this narcissist has done to her that he's not disclosing on his video. I would get better advice from HG Tudor, and he's a psychopath and a narcissist, than I will from other empaths, especially if they're not aware. For an empath to become aware, okay, let me tell you what needs to happen. They have to first learn what a narcissist is, experience one or more, been raised around them, and this is going to be a hard one, y'all. To become an aware empath, you got to be willing to listen to other aware empaths. When an empath come into your life, and see, with other empaths, I use this word. I tell them, you need to become an aware empath. Okay? So, but what is an empath going to do? Because of emotional thinking, they're going to rebel against me. Quiet as it's kept, I can't too much tell another empath shit. They have too much fucking emotional thinking. So as an aware empath, I find that I get along better with other aware empaths because I don't want to be involved in their sickness no more. I don't want you telling me, and you know what I have to tell other empaths? Oh my God, as an aware empath, I point out their craziness, y'all. So if they text me and say, yeah, love your family or something, love your sister, I say, why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me to love my sister and the bitch can't even apologize or show any soul or remorse for accusing me of something? She's cussed at me and everything. Like, this is a bitch I don't need in my life. My little sister inherently fucking hates me. So I have to tell another empath, why the fuck you telling me to love her? Didn't I just tell you I want to be in no contact with this bitch? What the fuck? I have to tell other empaths, stop texting me this crazy shit. I want to be in no contact. I don't want to be at this bitch funeral. I don't want to see the bitch dead. I'm done with the bitch. I done called the bitch a homosexual. I'm done with this bitch. Why do I need this in my life? How am I going to better my life with this type of person? And that's what other empaths do. They keep grooming you into misery. You'll never be happy around these type of empaths. They're dangerous too. Some of them will get your address out. While you're telling this other empath, I don't want to fuck with my cousin Billy, they trying to mend y'all back together, and they're going to be done gave Billy or Sarah your address, and Billy or Sarah going to come and put a bullet in you. How do you think a lot of people that's in no contact, their abusers come back and kill them? Where do you think they got your fucking address from? It's not just from other narcissists. They're able to go to another empath. Let me tell you something. One of my sisters, not a biological sister, but she's like family to me, right? Her ex-husband is basically a sociopath, and he's a child predator as well. Guess what? Guess what he did, y'all? He tried to get me to give her address out. He said, come on now, that's my wife. You're not going to give me my wife address? I said, no. First of all, if you somebody's husband and your wife don't want you to know their address, you the one with the problem, man. You should have your wife address. You should be getting your wife address from her, not from me. Absolutely not. I'm not giving out your wife address. Your wife don't fuck with you no more. And I told him, I said, man, you like a child predator, dog. Don't you? And because he lacked understanding. He don't know why he don't have his wife address. I had to tell him, man, you don't fuck around with the kids in the family. You was peeking at her relatives, man. You don't know why you don't have your wife address? You lucky your ass ain't dead or in prison. Okay? But he tried to get this sister's address. Now, some empaths might have would have gave it to him because they're not aware. So keep this in mind, because when we see some of these crime cases, we always want to think it got something to do with narcissists. You think it's just all narcissists involved. No, these empaths play a heavy role. I got a son that's very abusive towards me. My sociopath little sister that accused me of taking her, using her name, she said, Elijah, he loves you. He really loves you. Elijah told me he is not my protector and allowed his girlfriend to put a fist in my side. Now, see, my little sister, she'll get me killed. Because she going off how he talk and stuff. She's not around to see what he's doing. My son Elijah shot at me, y'all. He was about 2 blocks away. Yeah, it was a BB gun. The little play BB gun with the little bitty pellets. He shot at me. I don't want to be really fucking with him and be around when he get his real gun, right? Don't you see the red flags? I go off logic, not emotion, because I have moved and graduated to an aware empath. This is where you want to be. And I thank the Lord for HG Tutor for that. If I had not learned from HG Tutor what emotional thinking was, if I had not learned that and I had not went in no contact, he says you got to, for a minimum, be in no contact with a narcissist for 6 months to get your emotional thinking down. And I'm going to add this. Once you get it down, it's down. When mine went down, I'm able to use logic. Okay, so going into the I love you. Empaths are good for this. They're going to tell you they love you more than some narcissists will. So how do you deal with that? Okay, I love you, I love you, I love you. Empaths do this. That's an empath that's not aware yet, and they're using a lot of emotional thinking. But I look at love like this. Another empath encouraging me to sell liquor, they don't love me. They're grooming me. That's not love. So what I do with other empaths, I pull back from them because I understand that there's still other unaware empaths. They're still in too much defense of an abuser, and they're too much trying to train me how to love the abuser. They're doing too much of that to really love me because they're not really offering me a healthy life per se. Okay. So just like you got aware narcissists, those are the narcissists that are diagnosed, that come out with their channels to help people. You got unaware narcissists. My ex, I guess I might consider him an aware narcissist. Because when I told him he was a narcissist, he said, goddamn right I'm a narcissist. I'm goddamn proud of it. Shit, he supported Trump and everything. Damn right I'm a narcissist. So I guess he would be like an aware narcissist. Because he ain't denying it. Yeah, I'm an ex-pimp. I'm a narcissist. Bet nobody fuck with me. I got all my guns and shit. What you gonna do? You know, stuff like that. So that's the thing with all this stuff. So hopefully these examples make sense. And be very leery of going to other empaths for advice, because they have not came into awareness. I've came into more protective of you. If a narcissist come on here and ask me for advice, I could kind of maybe tell if they're a narcissist, but I'm still going to give them good advice because narcissists make very irrational decisions. Some decisions that could even get them killed. Okay. Yeah, so basically, that's what that is. Okay, I'm texting one of my sons back. So I'm going to go into another subject matter here to help you. Okay, so this is one son that's not disrespecting me, overall decent son, Isaiah. I talked about in other videos that in some of my lives about the teaching of I got notes here, y'all. The teaching of that narcissistic teaching that treat everybody the same, they're just the same. Bullshit. You better have some favorites because everybody not teaching you the same. Okay? They're not. So I have on some of my lives where I have my abusive son, Elijah, that's even telling me he gonna have a witch put a curse on me. He got a witch friend to put a curse on me and I'm gonna die. He actually has a witch friend, y'all. He's accepted a whole couch from her. I don't know the lady. Would the lady put a curse on me? Probably not. Okay, I met the lady's daughter and I know the daughter is sweet. Okay, I don't have no problem with the lady that's in the voodoo or witchcraft or her daughter. I don't. But these are the threats from my son. So this is how I deal with narcissists as an aware empath. So I had to call the police on them last week for threatening me. I don't let narcissists in my home, y'all. They can't come in here. If I get a lot of narcissism vibes off you, even unaware empaths, I don't want them in here neither. Both are not getting me on the road to where I need to be. Unaware narcissists or unaware empaths are teaching me to love abusers, and narcissists will always actively abuse me, even if it's just emotional or start shit with me on and off. I don't need no full-blown narcissists or no unaware empaths around me because both are guiding me in the wrong freaking direction. And it's not in the direction of happiness. So my abusive son, Elijah, says, "What you doing, Mom?" I don't treat him the same as my son I just text. I'm not going to treat somebody that's calling me a bunch of bitches and hoes. Yes, he's escalated to calling me hoes, y'all, that I'm actively calling the police on. That if he came up around me and hit me, I'm going to have to fight for my life. I'm not going to treat him the same. He's not the same, right? Because if I treat him the same, I'm going to get my ass fucked up. I will get hurt. You cannot treat narcissists the same as empaths. They are not the freaking same. So when you was raised to teach you, when you were taught to treat everybody the same, you're being raised by narcissists that want to keep you being abused by your kids and your siblings and your parents and uncles and aunts. They're keeping you systematically in these abuse cycles. So he said, "What you doing, Mom?" I'm never over friendly with narcissists, right? Remember, it's in my videos. I called the police on him. I told him I called the police on him. We really ain't on good terms. Like he think, right? I keep him out of my home. I no longer go to his home. I haven't seen Elijah since last September. He told me he's not my protector. He's cool with his white bitch putting a fist in my left side. I mean, he's cool with this shit, right? So I'm staying clear of this for safety reasons, for him too. So what you doing, Mom? This is how I respond to narcs. Cleaning up more of your mess you left in my crib. I keep finding your messes. Then he says, "Okay, for sure." So I said, this place is so much bigger than our other last apartment. And it is. This place that I'm in, it's not like a tiny house type setting. So it's a lot of places you can really hide some bullshit. I found a Caesar salad that Elijah left, y'all. I have a no eating policy in the upstairs of my home. There's a no eating policy up here. Narcs don't obey your house rules, y'all. So because he's hiding food up here that he's not supposed to be eating, he's not bringing it downstairs to the garbage can, right? I don't like keeping garbage cans all over the house because I don't need a garbage can in my bedroom if I don't eat in my bedroom like that. It's in narcissists, just the way they eat is so nasty, y'all. So they just not caring if they won't wash their hands. It's just your room just ain't gonna be as clean. The kitchen is the hardest room to maintain as far as bleaching it and keeping it clean. So I don't want to do the cleaning that I do for a kitchen for all the rooms in my house. I don't want the rest of the 15 rooms in my crib to be the same type of cleaning I do in a kitchen. I don't want to have to come in my bedroom and bleach it. You understand? I don't want to bleach my bedroom. I want to come in my bedroom. My bedroom walls already clean. I don't even touch my walls, y'all. I could fall. I'm so careful about my walls. Even in my fall, I'm like, ooh, don't touch my walls. I'm really careful. I do a lot of preventative cleaning, you know. And so I told him, I said, this place is so much bigger. So he left an old ass Caesar salad. This man been gone from my house for years. I had this shoe drawer. So it was 3 drawers and it had 3 pair of shoes in it that I have not wore. I don't think all of the shoes are mine, but it had these shoes. Elijah put a whole Caesar salad there. I got to see what a I think this motherfucker was like 5 years old, y'all. This Negro, I was so fucking disgusted. But see, the Lord told me, go through everything in your house. I don't care if it's a little plastic container with some old scarves in it. Look through it. And I've been telling my oldest son this. We got to look through everything. Every piece of furniture. Let's see what's under there. Especially when you've had somebody in your house that's been disobeying rules and eating. So I told Elijah, so he says, if you want me to come clean it up, invite me over instead of complaining about it. And I don't even know if it's mine. So I'm going to assume it is. And then he says, I know, yeah, your place is way bigger. So this is where this narcissist is testing me, right? And this is somebody that calls me a bunch of bitches and hoes and talks to me horrible, right? My mom never had to call me and my little sister dog. So what I do with these type of narcissists, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri originally. So when I say, yeah, dog, I mean, when I use it, we kind of like, I'm on the border with you, right? You're not really a full enemy, but I really don't want it to go there. I'm letting you know you a dog. You my dog, okay? So, and I don't have any dogs in the house. So he said, I said, you can't come back, dog. I know your mess. I know your mess from Isaiah and Daniel mess. Your mess has artwork attached. Isaiah and Daniel cannot draw. Laugh out loud. I'm letting them know I know the difference between your mess. I knew the Caesar salad was his because he's the only one that always leaves some of the lettuce at the bottom because he's really not a true lettuce eater. When me, Isaiah, and Daniel eat our salads, we don't leave no lettuce. So, I mean, I kind of know if it's a piece of debris left someplace weird, I know whose it's, I know if it's mine versus which one of my sons it is. So this is what a narcissist does when I call them dog. See, if my mama called me dog, I'd be like, damn, what can I do to get in her good graces? Like, somebody that gave birth to me is calling me dog. So I would have instantly knew that I'm the one that's fucked up, but not this nigga. Okay. My son Elijah says, I'm just supposed to know that puppy. So because He's an undiagnosed psychopath. So when I call him dog, he calls me puppy. Okay. Because there's no hierarchy for him. I'm his mom, right? And I said, just like my mess has poems attached. Laugh out loud. Then he says, Elijah says, stop being so mean all the time. It's going to kill you one day. He wished that he had the power. That's what I'm saying. But he says, you're going to say something bad and God gonna take your soul. I'm not saying anything bad to this man. I'm saying that he asked me what I was doing, cleaning up one of your messes. That's it. That was my response to him. And I said, who gonna kill me one day? Boy, you better keep dreaming. You have no power over me. You not my Lord, is what I said to Elijah. I said, I am not mean. You mean for trashing my crib up. I ain't trashed your crib up, dog. You can't find nothing in your crib that I have trashed up. This is what I told Elijah. Then he says, he does this reverse psychology. He says, because you're not allowed over here. You never lived here. I'm your son, remember? He does some crying thing. He's not a son. He's a biological son. He's my son. Elijah is my son, but he's not a son, right? A son, don't call me puppy and stuff. But see, this is a narcissist. So I unfortunately, like my son that's on his way home, I don't need to call him dog like this, right? Because there's more empathy there. And I said, when I was coming over to your place, I just cleaned and helped. I did not make a mess. It is not that I'm not allowed over there. I don't want to be there with that crazy girl. I am choosing not to be there. I am allowed there because I have not done nothing to get banned from your place. Not being allowed in your place is a favor to me. It prevents the storm. So this is what I said to him. I said, it is normal not to allow you here. You're not a good protective son. I would have to be half crazy to let you in my crib. So then he says, probably same for me too. You too crazy to be around me. He can't name nothing that I've done to him. See, the difference between an aware empath and an undiagnosed psychopath that's a narcissist as well is that he don't have a list of the shit I've done to him like I have for him. There's no list, right? So see, if you just took a piece of notepad and I wrote the list of shit he's done, he's not gonna have that list on me. The list he gonna have on me is mostly good deeds. She was there when the SWAT team came. She raised me. She was my mom. She never gave me away. So at the end of the day, you couldn't handle boys. That's not my fault. That's your fault. I did handle boys. I raised him his complete life, and I don't have to continue to tolerate his shit. I did handle him, and I'm handling him right now when I keep Elijah the fuck up out my house. That's handling his ass. He don't like that he's being handled because there's that protection, and I'm still disciplining this Negro. So I am handling him. I'm handling this Negro when I call the police on him. He don't like that he's being handled. So what he's doing right here in this text is gaslighting. He says, so don't sit here blaming me for your mess. I didn't blame him for anything. He just originally asked me, what was I doing? Cleaning up your mess. Okay. He said, when you're the one that had kids. I did have kids, but having them doesn't give them the right to not have empathy and work to destroy your place. That's actually not what having kids is about. Having kids is not a pass for some demonic ass kids to tear your place to pieces. That's not what it's about, y'all. That mean you got some demonic ass kids, okay? And that's not what it's supposed to be about. And you don't have to tolerate it as they get older and once they move out. Fine. He left some messes and trash here. I'm still finding some of these puddles of things and messes that I'm still locating. But at the same time, no, you can't come back, dog. You're not clean enough to be in my crib. I'm an aware empath now. I don't want these dirty fucking narcissists in my place. This motherfucker's not clean. Stay over there with your nasty bitch. See, I done raised this Negro. I ain't gotta have this Negro in and out my house the rest of his life fucking my crib up. I don't have to clean up after this nigga no more. Right? So that's the bottom line. He not a good son. I don't need this in my life. He don't truly understand what dog is. He's not from St. Louis. So he's saying, end the conversation, leave him alone. I left him alone before it escalated. So this is just how this goes. So my point and theory on this is you ain't got to treat them the same. You should not be treating, as an aware empath, I don't treat my abusers the same as my non-abusers. Is that fair? Listen, if you in a class and you in a history class and the teacher know you cheated and you did better on your paper than the person that didn't cheat, but your teacher know you cheated now, would it be fair for your teacher to let you get that A+ when the person that actually didn't cheat, that did the hard work, gets a B- or a B, as in boy, they get a B or a C, but your teacher know that you cheated and don't make you work for that A or work for that B or C? That's not fair. It's unfair to empathic people to treat narcissists the same as you treat the empath. That's unfair, especially when the narcissist is not fixing their behavior. So I hope that makes sense, y'all. So now that's the blessing about being at this channel, okay? You know what an aware empath is, because I haven't heard it anywhere on YouTube. This is the only place I've heard it, okay? I YouTubed it and Googled it, and I haven't found anything on an aware empath. So as far as I know, I'm the first one to bring this up. Yeah, but I don't treat them all the same. I'm not that over emotional thinking empath. See, this is what I do know. I can't love a Negro son like this. I cannot love my way into his heart. Now, he may mature and I could boundary my way into his heart. I can discipline my way into his heart. I can win some level of his fake ass respect when he's 45 in a motherfucking wheelchair because he got half his ass knocked off and he's in a motherfucking wheelchair, and I walk up in there at 80 some years old, or if I walk up in there at 80 some years old not being in a wheelchair to visit this nigga, now I could win his fake respect. But when I leave, he still may say, who does that bitch think she is? Old bitch not in a wheelchair. Stupid old bitch. She's the reason I'm in a wheelchair. He'll act like I did it to him, y'all. Like he not even gonna understand his karma. So I may get like this fake ass respect. But it won't be real. So that's basically that, y'all. So I hope this made sense. So overall, the summary of this is, in summary, all empaths don't mean you well. I gave you a pure example of an ex-narcissist that has that square category for me and actually is not putting me in lines of danger because I'm a square. And I gave you a pure example of how empaths roll, how they not all in your best interest because they are not aware enough. And I'm tired of it. I'm so sick of empaths telling me to love abusers. I don't know what to fucking do. They're not helping me. Help me go no contact and stay in no contact so I can be happy. Protect me from my little sister so that I'm not on the phone and she's accusing me of taking one of her homosexual tennis shoes or something, where she's screaming and hollering to the top of her fucking lungs, really thinking I did it, right? Help me. Help me not get jumped and beat up. Stop encouraging me, especially when these narcissists and undiagnosed psychopaths are older. My sister too old for this shit, y'all. This ain't no 18, 20-year-old, 15-year-old. This is not even a 25-year-old. She's too old for this shit. And so other aware empaths don't promote me loving her. The only people that do it is narcissistic people and unaware empaths. Normals and narcissists, they don't keep walking me into the line of fire. I'll have a better result with a normal or just a narcissist. A narcissist that's put me in a square category. Like he or she has determined that I'm a good girl and call me a good girl. When narcissists put you in that good category, they call you things like good girls, you're empathic, you're a sweetheart, you're a square. So my best advice is going to be from a normal or a narcissist, not unaware empaths and narcissistic people. Narcissistic people, they got too much envy and jealousy and they don't want to see you happy. And unaware empaths, they don't know how to be happy yet. And they still fucking around with too many narcissists. They're still in addiction. Because H.G. Tudor teaches that. He teaches that as an empath, you have an addictive personality. And it's true. All empaths, unless they come into awareness, they're going to keep their addictive personalities, and their addictive personalities is going to keep hurting them. That's why you want to become aware. Okay? So I'm going to be writing a book as well that I'm going to be preparing. It will be my first book that I'm going to be writing. My goal is to have it published within the next 12 months. That is my actual goal. And once the book is published, I will tell you where to go to purchase it. But that is my goal. That's my 12-month goal. 12-month goal, y'all. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to tell you what the book is about, but it will be a book that will help empaths and narcissists. It's not just going to be a book to help one. I would say it's primarily going to help empaths a lot, but it can help some narcissists as well. So anyway, I'm going to stay on here a couple of more minutes in case y'all got any questions, because I'm getting ready to release this live from private. So y'all got any questions while I'm getting my little music prepared? I hope I don't get no copyright claim on my music, y'all. I'm about tired of that. I keep getting copyright claims on my music, y'all. It's not cool. Oh, wow. I got 700 subscribers, y'all. So that means 3 subscribers subscribe from this live. Thank you so much. And thank you for the likes too. So yeah, I made it to 700 and I'm at 108,000 views. I've uploaded 860 videos. Ain't that something? Wow. Ain't the Lord good? Y'all gotta subscribe, because I said some stuff y'all ain't seen on YouTube yet, right? That's why small channels are so important, y'all. You gotta go to your small channels. You got to go to your small channels, because and that's why I'm definitely gonna keep this going, because I have to, because there's things that I'm gonna mention that I just don't want to keep to myself, because I know that it's going to help y'all a whole lot. It just is. I don't, as an aware empath, even as an unaware empath, I didn't want to just help myself. I want to help y'all too. It's part of my nature. So even as I come into awareness, Another thing that will happen too is you become an aware empath. The Lord will tell you who not to help so much. You would just be more aware of who not to help. Because unaware empaths, they help too many people. They just do. They help way too many people, y'all. And the people they help, it just ain't no good. I love music, and I don't think I got a copyright claim on this particular music. I don't know. I'm working. You know, I try to obey YouTube guidelines, y'all. Even as a small YouTuber, I don't want to make YouTube mad at me ever, ever, ever. So I try not to do things that don't make YouTube mad. I know they didn't gave up on me with my cussing, y'all. YouTube is like, forget it. I'm just not gonna put her in the algorithm where she gets 200 views on this video because she just won't stop cussing. But that's okay. I want to be my genuine self on here, y'all. So I love y'all so much. And yeah, I just want to do the right thing, y'all. You know, that's really what I want to do. I always want to do the right thing, y'all. I like the melody of some music. I really do. I love it. I love it. I love it. And welcome back for the future videos to Advanced Insight channel. If y'all got any questions, y'all better put it here right quick. Don't wait. You got to put it in here kind of soon because I'm getting ready to get off this live. I got so many video ideas, y'all. I'm very happy with the empaths that are in my life. Hey, unaware or not, at least they still empaths. So I'll be able to work with them more. Narcissists, they can't be up around me every day. It's like oil and water, y'all. It's just not going to work. They not going to be happy, and I'm not going to be happy. But have they benefited my life? Yes. They brought me into the knowledge. I wouldn't be on the road to becoming an aware empath if it wasn't for some of those strict asshole narcissists. I love y'all. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. All night long. Wanna make it. Never been the same, man. Good for you. Make it. Hell no. Please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Thank you. Bye.